This is the Annagail Lynes Podcast, where we equip you with the tools and insights to take charge of your life and thrive. And here is your host, life coach and author, Annagail Lynes.
Hello, and welcome back to the Annagail Lynes Podcast. I'm Annagail Lynes, and today we're diving into one of the most crucial life skills that can profoundly impact your financial future, financial literacy. We will be covering more practical topics on this podcast. It's great to improve our lives from the inside out, silencing our inner critic and goal setting and challenging our thinking and beliefs. But in order to take charge of our lives, we have to take control of things like our finances, our debt, and saving for our future. In upcoming episodes, we're going to explore entrepreneurship, solo traveling, as well as dealing with imposter syndrome and mastering time management. In a world where managing money is a daily necessity, being financially literate is not just a nice-to-have skill. It's essential for building a secure and prosperous life. We'll cover everything from budgeting to saving to investing and planning for retirement. Of course, this is just an overview. By the end of the video, you'll have a clearer understanding of how to make informed financial decisions, secure your financial future, and get out of debt. If you're ready to take control of your financial destiny, hit that subscribe button and let's dive into the world of financial literacy. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family, because together we can all achieve financial success. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy refers to the knowledge and understanding of various financial concepts, including personal finance, budgeting, investing, debt management, and overall financial decision making. It encompasses the ability to make informed and effective financial choices that lead to long-term financial well-being. Financial literacy is an essential skill because it empowers us to manage our money, plan for our financial goals, and make informed decisions about saving, investing, and spending. So why is financial literacy important? Financial literacy is important so that we can make informed decisions about our money, so that we can manage our money through things like budgets and tracking our expenses and living within our means. It's important so that we can reduce our debt and get out of debt and not fall prey to the debt cycle, the living from paycheck to paycheck cycle. And it also helps us to save and invest for the future, as well as plan for retirement. And it also helps us to become more economically stable. It reduces financial stress. It helps us to build wealth. And it helps us with our goals in the future, such as becoming an entrepreneur or traveling the world. Like financial expert Dave Ramsey would say, if you live like no one else now, later you can live and give like no one else. So what are some ways that we can become financially literate? One is by setting up our financial goals. So what is your goal? Is it to get out of debt? Is it to pay off your house? Is it to start a business? Is it to invest in the stock market or real estate? Is it to plan for your retirement? What are your financial goals? And what do those goals look like? For instance, retirement. How much money do you want to have in the bank when you retire? And how much money is it going to take from every paycheck to get to that goal? If you want to buy a house or pay off your house, how much are you going to have to save every month in order to do that? Or put towards it every month in order to do that? If you want to build your own business, if you want to buy a business, how much is that business and how much do you have to save in order to buy that business? And in what time frame are you buying that business? Do you want to get out of debt? If you want to get out of debt, how much do you have that you can put towards that debt? And how much debt do you have? And how long of a time frame do you want to give yourself in order to pay off that debt? So once you've got those goals in mind, what is it that you need to learn? Do you need to learn budgeting? Do you need to learn how to invest? Do you need to learn how to market your business? Do you need other streams of income? What is it that you need to learn? And then you need to go all into that. You need to set aside time and invest in learning about that topic. You need to read books on it, listen to podcasts on it, listen to books on it, read articles on it, listen to experts speak about it, take online courses. You need to throw yourself into learning what steps you need to take in order to get to that goal. And then we need to create a budget. So this is not a very sexy topic, but it is a fundamental topic when it comes to financial literacy. So we need to take how much income we are getting every month, sit down with a yellow pad. You can do this on the computer if you like, but I like to do this old school. And put how much you're going to get for that month, how much income you have for that month, and put it at the top. And then set up categories for your expenses. So set up for rent and mortgage, set up for utilities, set up for food and transportation, gas expenses in transportation, bus passes, subway passes, whatever it is that takes you to and from work. Also set up for, entertainment and clothes and anything else that you need in a month. Set up categories for that. And then put how much you need in each category. Another thing you're going to want to do while you're in the creating a budget stage is that you're going to want to track your expenses. So take out your bank statement, whether that's on your phone or on your computer, or if you still get it in the mail, take it out. And I want you to go over your expenses for the last month. A lot of us will have subscriptions that we don't remember we have, because they take out, $10 here and $20 there and $30 there, and that little amount we never notice. But we need to start looking at all of our expenses, and we need to unsubscribe from those expenses that no longer serve us. We need to free up that money so we can put it in our budget. So you can allocate that money to someplace else. Specifically, I would allocate that into savings, because that's another category that you want to have. You want to have savings and giving. You want to track your expenses. And then you're also going to want to track your debt. Go over and get your credit report and find out where your debt is, who you owe money to. So now you're starting to get a financial picture of where you're at. You have your goals. You have your expenses. You've unsubscribed from the expenses that you no longer need. And then you've got who you owe money to. And then you could set up a budget around those things and around the goals, your savings goals and your retirement goals. So now you've got a clear financial picture of what's happening. With your bank statement, you know when everything's due. So you know whether you could put the electric bill on the first 2-week period or the second 2-week period of the month. You know whether rent is going to come out of the first one or the second one, or if you have to save a certain amount from the first paycheck and then add it to the second paycheck in order to pay the rent or the mortgage. You've got a clear financial picture, and you're able to see where you're going to allocate all your money. When you do a budget, it's like getting a raise, because you know where all your dollars are going. Now, this does not mean that you can't eat out if you want to. You can set up a budget for that. It doesn't mean that you can't travel. You can set up a budget for that. It doesn't mean that you can't do the things you want to do. It's just that we're doing it in a more practical way. And one of the things we need is we need to have an emergency fund. So one of the things that the financial experts talk about is having an emergency fund of at least 3 to 6 months. I think it's more practical to have an emergency fund of $1,000 when you're trying to get out of debt. You have $1,000 emergency fund so that is money you don't touch unless there is an emergency. Your kid is in the emergency room and you got to pay the deductible. Your car needs something done to it, repairs done to it. There's the money. But or the roof collapses, you can put money towards that. But we have to have an emergency fund because that sets us up for success. And we need to diversify our income sources. So we need to do things in addition to our work. In addition to our 9 to 5, we need to be doing other things like side hustles, like walking the dog or, babysitting kids or starting an online business. In this day and age, we need more than a 9 to 5 to make ends meet. So we need to diversify our income sources. So invest in properties, invest in the stock market, invest in other things than our 9 to 5. So we can do passion projects and start online businesses. We can, take on a second job. We can drive for Uber Eats or drive for Lyft. We can do other things in order to gain more income. And then we need to pay off our debts. We take our credit report and we know where all of our debt is. Then we decide whether or not we are going to go from highest to lowest or lowest to highest. But we need to be paying off our debt. Are we going to pay from lowest to highest? Because if we pay off the first debt and then the second debt, we're starting to gain momentum and we're starting to see traction. Or are we paying off from the top? And although it's going to take a little bit, once you eat that big frog, then the next one is easier, and the next one is easier, and the next one is easier. But you have to start a routine of paying off your debt. You have to get a plan in place. Like we throw $100 at it every month or every 2 weeks. Or, we save money in order to pay off that big debt and pay it off all at once. Or we pay it in payments. But we have to get a plan on how we're going to pay off our debt because we need to pay off our debt in order to improve our credit. And then we need to invest wisely. We can invest wisely into stocks and bonds and mutual funds, but for a lot of us, we don't have that disposable income that we can put into that we can allocate to that. So now there are apps like Stash and Acorns and apps that round off your purchases and put it into a fund for you, and they invest it into stock. I like to go with Stash because I can put my money into worldwide or international stock and keep putting my money into the same things over and over again, and it gains traction. And you don't have to buy whole stocks. You're only putting portions. You're only buying portions of stock. You're not, having to invest Like, I've got money in Apple, and I've got money in Amazon and a lot of your big name people, but I don't own whole stock shares. But I still get to vote. I still am getting the stockholder information, and I'm still getting to vote on what happens in the company. But we need to invest wisely. So maybe you want to invest in property. So you could read books on that. Specifically, I would go with Robert Kiyosaki and his books on investing in real estate. And we can save for our retirement. So we can do this through our 401k at work. We can do this through IRAs. And we can take advantage of the matching from our 401k. We put in an amount and the employer puts in an amount, and then it's in a fund. When we retire, we've got all this money saved up. And then we need to avoid impulse purchases. So if you want something, don't impulsively buy it on Amazon. Instead of that, save for it. Make it a goal. Put so much money towards it every month until you've got the amount you need to pay for it. Because that's how we get in debt, is through impulsive purchases. You're going to want to seek professional advice when it comes to your taxes, and when it comes to your retirement funds, and when it comes to what's the best use of your money. You're going to want to seek out professionals, because I am not a professional. I'm only giving you an overview. And we can also network with other people and share our knowledge about what we've learned financially. But the thing is that it's all well and good for us to learn about financial literacy and to learn about getting out of debt and creating budgets and, saving for retirement and investing. But if we don't actually take action, it's not going to help us. It's like anything in life. Any goal you want to achieve, you have to take action. First, we invest our time in learning the steps that we need to take, but then we need to take the steps, because if we don't take the steps, we are never going to get toward our goal. You know how big I am on goal setting and actually taking action. Remember that financial literacy is an ongoing process, and there is always more to learn. Start with these tips and continue to expand your knowledge and apply what you learn to your own financial situation. As you become more financially literate, you'll be able to make better informed decisions about your financial future. So that's a wrap for today's deep dive into the world of financial literacy. I hope you found this video informative and empowering. But before you go, let's quickly recap some of the key takeaways from today's discussion. We covered budgeting, saving, investing, and retirement planning. Remember, the journey to financial literacy starts with small steps and being consistent. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button to show your support. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future empowering episodes. And remember, financial literacy is a lifelong journey. The more you learn and apply these principles, the closer you can get to achieving your financial goals and securing your financial future. Thank you for joining us here today on the Annagail Lynes Podcast. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep taking control of your destiny.
You have been listening to the Annagail Lynes Podcast. If you'd like to learn more about Annagail, you can go to AnnagailLynes.com. It's ANNAGAILLYNES.com. And there you can download 2 free chapters of her book Unshakable Purpose. And you can also download her latest science fiction mystery novel called The Last Chance Station for free. You can also buy her fiction and nonfiction books on the website, Amazon, BN.com, Lulu, and many other online outlets. Sign up for the newsletter to keep updated as to what's going on in the world of the Annagail Lynes Podcast and Space-Tastic Mysteries Podcast, her fiction podcast where you can hear installments of her novels. To follow her on social media, Lady Annagail on TikTok, Annagail Lynes on Twitter, and Annagail Lynes Artist on Instagram. Join our Facebook page at facebook.com/author Annagail. Thank you for listening and thank you for being you.